Assalamu alaikum. In this video, I know it's a little early before I can make these type of videos, but I do want to talk about the most important thing. I feel like we could all consider Real Madrid season over. I mean, we're all on the same page on that. We know that there's nothing else to look forward to besides one thing, which is the El Clásico pretty soon in May. But other than that, really, whether we win, whether we lose this game, I think that there's a chance that Barcelona might secure the title before we even meet. So I didn't want to wait until then. I don't want to do that. What I did want to do is talk about something much more important than that, and that involves over the summer. That involves actually from now until the beginning of next season. And that is three things. The three main important things that Real Madrid have to take into consideration heading into next season. And I listed them in order from I see them as the three biggest problems, but in my own opinion, I listed them from the least to the most important thing that they have to consider. And listen, this is my opinion. I could be wrong. You guys might disagree with me. For the hardcore Madridistas who just want to tell me that it's not the club and all that is, maybe it's a bad luck or whatever. You guys can have your own opinion. But this is my opinion, and this is based off what I've seen for the past 3 years, and notice a little pattern as well between 23-24 season until this season currently. Okay? So the first thing that I did want to mention is the manager problem. Out of the three things, I think this is the least, or not the main concern for us. But obviously, we all know this. I think even the hardcore Madrid fans know this. The manager is an issue, and especially now that we have Arbeloa, who came from the academy, from coaching the Castilla team, we know that he was not going to be our main coach unless, obviously, he either wins the Copa del Rey, La Liga, Champions League. He fumbled all those, and now we know Real Madrid, they look for results. We know 100% that he is not staying next season. He might even go back to the Castilla team. Depends if any other European club wants him. But we know that he's going to leave this summer. He's going to leave, and that's not my only problem or that's not the only solution, right? It's not Arbeloa leaving. We know that. Because in the beginning of this season, who did we have? We had Xabi Alonso. And just a reminder, right? He came from the Bundesliga, right? And you know what he did with Leverkusen, right? He went and had this amazing run and had this amazing invincible run that season and won the Bundesliga on Bayern, who was dominating that league for years and years and years. That is not easy for anybody to do. Now, if you look at Leverkusen right now, and I know a lot of the players left, but if you look at these players who left Leverkusen, they're not really doing the best in the teams they're in right now. Now, I'm talking about Wirtz, I'm talking about Frimpong, right? Really, if you think about it, they're not doing the best at the clubs that they're at right now, not making headlines or anything. So you guys can tell the quality that we had as Real Madrid fans when we had Xabi Alonso. I mean, everybody was excited, and then the switch up happened pretty quick just because Real Madrid decided to sack him or he decided to leave. So coming from an unbiased standpoint, I hate being biased, but this is me being unbiased. The next manager that we have, right, and this kind of goes on to my second point as well, which is I'm going to talk about it, but we need a manager who is literally just like Xabi Alonso. Now, I'm talking about in terms of having respect. So it's a player or a former player who has had respect. He's accomplished almost a lot of things with, almost every trophy. He has a lot of experience, right? And I think we had those qualities with Xabi Alonso in terms of having respect and having the background, played for Real Madrid, knows, how Real Madrid function, has the Real Madrid DNA in him. I feel like we had that in Xabi Alonso, but that was not enough, apparently, according to some Real Madrid fans and according to Perez. So I do think that we need from a manager is a manager who is tactical as well, which once again, we had it from Xabi Alonso. He was a manager of tactics, a manager of game plans, and still that was a problem for us, even though I don't see that being a problem. And like I said, it goes to my second point, which I'll get to in a few, but also somebody who is reasonable, which is something Xabi Alonso didn't have in my opinion. For example, benching Rodrigo and starting Mastantuono. I don't think that was a good choice that he made. And then you saw towards the end of his stint at Real Madrid, he started Rodrigo more often on the right wing position because Rodrigo was showing results. Now, I don't know what was happening behind the scenes, but Rodrigo stayed. He was showing results. He was doing good. He had a good impact on the team. And everybody started questioning Xabi Alonso. And now, whenever I mention Xabi Alonso, the Real Madrid fans do want to mention that point. That, he sold Endrick. He did this to Rodrigo. And I get it, right? I get it. I did want Endrick to stay. I did want him to be rotated with Mbappe. I did. I truly did. So I'm not saying Xabi Alonso is the best manager. I'm not saying he's the most perfect manager. But out of the three, he did have two of those qualities. And also my other one is controlling the locker room, which I think he didn't have because of the players. But I do think that he did try to get that control in the locker room. I truly think that Xabi Alonso tried doing it. The main problem is my second point, which is the players. The players, in my opinion, is the second main concern that Real Madrid has to take into consideration. So the first one was the manager, and the second was the players, because they both kind of go hand in hand. And the first thing that I did want to mention is about selling the players. We could all agree that there are players that have to be sold. For example, I'm not even going to read what's on the screen, right? But there are a lot of players who are only there, for example, for the money. Those type of players is the players that you have to sell. Players who are there trying to negotiate their contract, trying to get a higher salary raise, whatever it may be, and us as Real Madrid fans are like kind of questioning it. Like, what have you done as of recent years for you to even demand a higher contract or a salary raise? Like, here's the thing. Like, I'm not trying to mention any player names, but I'm sure one player does come to mind wanting a higher salary raise, which they don't deserve at all. And that doesn't go to one player. That goes to all the players in Real Madrid. Whoever plays at Real Madrid just for the name, just for the badge, just for the image, just for the media, whatever it may be, sell those players. We could tell as Real Madrid fans who they are. And I'm sure whoever's in the inside of the team, whoever is on the part of the board, part of the team itself, staff, whatever, they could tell and see that more than we can see it as fans. Those are the players that is going to cause our downfall. Because, yes, Real Madrid brings those things, and it's good, right? The image, the quality, the sponsorships, whatever it may be, the notoriety, right? Notoriety, however you want to pronounce it. Those come being a Real Madrid player. And who achieved that? The best example that I could give for anybody would be Cristiano Ronaldo in terms of a player you look up to who played for Real Madrid, carried himself by his image, right? Carried himself through his image, but also carried himself on the pitch as well. He let the actions do the talking. He did talk as well because he could back it up, and he had all those sponsorship, all those, he got more famous. His image grew each time he played every season for Real Madrid. And now you're here to tell me that there are players who deserve to get a salary raise because of their name. That's literally it. It's because of their names. If I come to you and I tell you that Endrick wants a higher salary raise, Endrick. If I come to you and I tell you Valverde wants a higher salary raise, which I think he does deserve, but when you compare it to another player like either Mbappe, Vinicius, right, you're going to say, just because of the names, Vinicius deserves it more than Valverde, or Mbappe deserves it more than Valverde, which it shouldn't even happen. It shouldn't even be up for a discussion. Shouldn't. And if they're second guessing at Real Madrid, let them leave. Sell them. Get them gone out of the club. That's only one part of what the players that I do want sold from Real Madrid. And like I said, it could be anybody, or it could be the starting 12. Like, I'm not joking. If it's the starting 11, sell them. Sell all of them. Let's reset. I don't mind taking a season to reset. I'm sure, I watched, shout out, by the way, to Dave Talks Madrid or Dave Talks Barca. I've been following him for a while, and he followed me back on Instagram, so shout out to him. But he does agree with me as well, right? Where if we have to take this season to get this change, right, because we have all these players who just care about the money, who just care about their salary raise, care about only their image, right? Get them gone. Get them out of the club. And I'm not saying it's the entire starting 11. That's not what I'm saying. I can't say that for Valverde. I can't say that for Courtois. Those are the players that I see as most humble. But I'm talking about players, maybe less than 3 or maybe less than 4, whatever it may be, that just, in my opinion, just looks like they're just there for the image, for the show, trying to capture these moments, get these highlight clips, whatever it may be, trying to dribble the ball, don't pass. These are the players that, in my opinion, they cause Real Madrid's downfall. I've seen it the past 3 years. First, right, 23-24 season, we did win everything. But the thing is that people still said that they were still missing tactics. We only relied on individual brilliance, right? Mbappe joined 24-25 season, right? They were saying all we need is tactics. There's no tactics. There's no structure, right? We got a manager 2025-26 season. Guess what? We're all in shambles. We don't even know what the problem is anymore. Because you know why? There's multiple problems to it. People are afraid to blame Mbappe because, hey, he's still our top scorer, right? But that doesn't mean anything because I've never seen a player being a top scorer for their team and still getting blamed on. And that's Mbappe in our situation, which tells you a lot. It tells you a lot. So number one, I said that's the player that you have to sell. Those who only care about their money, care about the salary, that's it. That's all they care about. Number two, any player that won't adapt, any player that won't listen, for example, if we do get a new manager, right? That's why I said number one, number two go together. If they don't adapt to a new manager, a new style, a new tactic, a new game plan, whatever it may be, getting benched for the first half, if you don't adapt to that, and if you don't try to prove yourself through your actions, sell them as well. I'd rather sell them and keep the manager who has more experience with these type of players, with those egos, right? Because clearly Perez chose one over the other, which he chose the wrong over the right, in my own opinion. Those type of players who don't adapt or who don't want to change anything, right? These players that we still have this season right here, where last season, where they enjoyed it because they felt free, they wanted to make sure that doesn't change, where we remain trophyless, right? Those players, get them gone. They have to be gone from the club. And whether they leave for free, whether you sell them, get them gone. They have to be gone from the club. That ruins the mindset of Real Madrid. And let me remind you this, because every Real Madrid fan tries to remind me this, and you know, I guess they always say this depending on the scenario, but you have to be consistent. When we say the standard at Real Madrid are high, they're high in every single aspect, whether it's business, whether it's on the pitch, whether it's the way you represent yourself on the media. The standards are high. So let's keep them there, including with the players who demand a salary raise just so they know that they bring money, they know that they have a big name, whatever it may be. Get those players gone. Because reminder, right? Nobody's bigger than the club. And nobody especially is bigger than Real Madrid. I think I don't even have to say that. And my other thing with these players is those who don't play for the badge, right? And I'm talking about with the tactics as well. If they don't press, if they're yelling at each other, telling each other to shut up, telling each other to pass the ball, what are you doing? Why don't you shut up? What are you trying to say to me, right? Get those players gone as well. Those who don't respect each other, right? Those who just want to do things for themselves, who are trying to dribble the ball by themselves and missing key passes. And I'm talking about world-class players. Get them gone immediately. There's content creators, right? Like Dave, Carnage, Faisal, right? Saying that they want those players gone as well. And I'm not saying they have a say in anything, but I'm just saying that you should know that that's not normal for anybody to say. It's not normal at all. So I'm just saying that I do agree with those people or those fans who are saying that as well. I don't think these players should stay if they're not adapting, if they don't have respect for each other, and most importantly, if they don't play for the badge, if they don't play like they're playing for Real Madrid. Here are these players now currently, they're trying to say, oh, you know, we have these magic moments, you know, UCL nights. Where are those magic moments in Bayern, against Bayern? Where are those magical moments? They were nowhere to be found. So that's why I'm saying that tactics, game plans, stuff like that, those contribute to magical moments. Not just throw them all out there and let's just hope for the best. Remontada on the media, that's all we're going to say. Like, come on. Like, this is the thing with, like, I'd say, like, this generation, right, especially with footballers. I think they're just thinking about the edits, the highlights, the clips, and everything. It's just, I don't really like that. I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm more appreciative of those who do more of the action and less of the talking. Olise, for example, and some people might find him cringe, but I like the fact that he's not even saying anything, and he's just, giving these media people one word. He's still getting the press, he's still getting the clicks, he's still getting the front pages and all that. by just saying a couple of words in the interview. But his actions on the pitch speaks way louder than the words that he says on the media. Now, for the last point. The last and most important point in this video, the third and final point that Real Madrid has to consider, and before I say this, just make sure you do subscribe because it does mean a lot, is the board. And I'm talking about Perez and whoever is associated with him. And let me tell you why, right? Perez, one of the greatest club presidents in history. No doubt about it. And his team as well, one of the greatest. No doubt about it. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to forget everything that he's done for Real Madrid, right? But if we're looking at it, if you, me, us, we are looking at it from this point of view right now, we can see that the way they're looking at things is only through the business aspect. Here's one example. You're telling me that it was better to let go of Xabi Alonso than it was to just listen to him, trust his process, see what he does. If anything, fire him at the end of the season at the very most, right? At the end of the season, get him out, right? And you're still going to keep the players. But guess what? You let the manager out. You let the big boss out. The guy with the knowledge in here, right? Not over here. It's here, Xabi Alonso. You get that guy gone, right? And then you bring somebody else who has a worse record into the Castilla team. And now if you look at their win rate, he's lower, way lower. I think he's out of the top 5 win rate percentage. I can't even speak. I think he's the lowest. He's number 5 on that list. And Xabi Alonso playing fewer games, or I don't even know if it's fewer games, but has fewer losses and the highest winning percentage. And you're telling me that he's still the problem? Get him out. Because Vinicius, whoever it may be, I don't know who it is. Like I said, I'm just thinking that this is my own personal opinion. Somebody went to him saying, I don't like how he's treating me. I don't like our relationship. He doesn't have respect for me. I get subbed out. I'm going to walk straight to the locker room. You're telling me that that's a normal behavior? Or is that a spoiled brat behavior? You tell me. You tell me. And now if you're a president, you're going to take, it's like when the kids come, it's like when a little brother and a big brother get into a fight. And then you tell the big brother, hey, you know, like, this is your little brother. Like, come on. Like, relax. Don't be too controlling over him. Let him do what he wants to do. Let him play the game. Let him do whatever. That's literally how I saw it. Like, it might be a crazy analogy, but that's how I saw it. And guess what? Banish the big brother. Get him gone. The guy who's more reasonable, who has more respect, who has more knowledge. Get him gone. It's just so this baby can stop crying. This little brother can stop crying. Isn't that a crazy analogy? Yet it is very similar to what I think Xabi Alonso went through. Very insane. Very insane to me. Not happy about it. Never seen a manager, by the way, leave with a smile on his face. So you could tell how much Xabi Alonso endured at Real Madrid. By the way, just judging based off what I see. I don't know anything about what's going on inside Real Madrid. Just letting you know. But that's like I said, they see Real Madrid as a money aspect. They don't see it as like a football thing. They don't buy players. They're still scared to buy. I don't know when was the last time we actually bought a player. Where even in the winter transfer where we bought a player, like buying, like not a free agent and we signed him. Like I'm saying, buying somebody from a club. We generated the most revenue from just the Bernabeu, and we're still not doing that. Mr. Krusty Perez, right? Mr. Krusty Krab, right? Whatever his name is, Mr. Krabs. It's just insane to me how this is the guy who owns the club, right? And the reason why I also say that the board is the most important part that we do have to change, or something that Real Madrid has to consider, is the fact that the players that this dude signs is not like talented players. Like, for example, we got Mastantuano, which, yes, he was doing good before Real Madrid. But then you signed players just because of the name, just because of somebody who most likely or possibly could bring us the money, right? Just for him to get benched, Now, I don't know if it was Xabi Alonso that suggested he signs him. But, yes, under Xabi Alonso, he didn't perform as well either. But why are we doing these signings? Why not looking for a prospect? That's the thing. Look for a prospect. The only one that I could think of is Arda Güler. But look at how Arda Güler is doing. Whether it's under Xabi Alonso or Arbeloa, he is performing. Especially recently against Bayern. And maybe Arda is a guy that has to be managed under a manager who has tactics. I mean, look at him under Xabi Alonso. He had the most assists under Xabi Alonso. And some players do need tactics. They need to know how everybody's playing, not just throw them on the pitch and just do what you want. Defenders, just make sure you're staying back a little bit. And that's it. The attackers attack and the midfielders back them up. I don't see that as being a professional manager with tactics. That's not how it works. But yeah, this video probably went on way longer than it was supposed to be, but this is just my opinion. Like I said, there's nothing to look forward to in this season. I believe the season is already done. The only thing I can look forward to is the El Clásico, and I do hope that we at the very least beat Barcelona. At the very least. Now, if we win, if us and Barcelona win all the games leading up to the El Clásico, and then they beat us, they win the title over our heads. Insane. What a way to go out in the second season where we thought it was going to change when we signed Xabi Alonso, and that's all we were missing. Look how bad we are right now. Just look how bad we are. Yes, we're second in the league, but that should not tell you how good we are. That should tell you how bad La Liga is. If Real Madrid were in the Premier League, I don't think they were going to finish second, maybe sixth. I don't know. But like I said, we're going to just wait and see. The season still has a couple of games left in the league. That's all we got left in the league. We just have to wait and see what Real Madrid is going to do. We're going to see the changes. There's a lot of news. A lot of changes probably is going to happen. But like I always do and I always say, I'll pass the mic on to you guys. What do you think about Real Madrid's season? What do you think about the upcoming El Clásico? Because I'm sure you guys don't even care about La Liga anymore. But let me know what you guys think overall about Real Madrid. Let me know what you think about this video, about the 3 main concerns that I have. Maybe I probably missed a bigger concern. Let me know everything that you got going on in your mind. Put in the comments below. And thank you all for those who follow me on all social platforms. But if you're not followed, just make sure you do. It's at Real Roots. And make sure that you do subscribe to the YouTube. We're close on 400 subscribers. Thank you very much for all the support. And until then, Salam Alaikum.